Hello.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily, the show with all the news you nerd
Yeah.
and other such things.
Whoa, why is it like that?
With like what?
The angle's different.
Yeah, because I just left the camera over there.
Oh, okay.
Do you not like it?
No, it's fine.
No. Okay.
I'm not going to ever look at that camera, though, just so you know, because I'm facing this way, so.
I don't know that I needed or wanted you to.
Okay. Well, it's not happening, just so you're aware.
Okay. I'm glad the thing that I didn't need or want you to do is not happen. Okay. Good morning, Sam.
Hello.
Hello, hi. It's Friday. We made it through another week, guys.
Yeah.
We did it. Although I know, a lot of people's weeks don't end with Friday, including ours. But like it's we keep on keeping on. We keep putting the one foot in front of the other, and getting through this thing we call life. Sam says, I like the growing guitar collection. It's more that Selena finds them other places throughout the house, and then she goes, where do you want this? And I go, I don't know. I don't.
Well, because, like, it was in our kids' room, because technically those guitars are our kids' guitars, but they've broken two of them, and so Jeff took one of them because he's like, well, I'll use this and play guitar. And our youngest now has her own room and is getting really, like, nobody's shit is in my room except mine. Get your guys' crap out of my room, which is funny because...
Also, I respect it.
Yeah, no, I do too. Like, I get that way about, like, things being in the entryway where I'm like, I'm gonna trip and fall over this backpack for the third time, so please put it somewhere where it goes, actually.
Yeah.
But, like, especially if things were in my room, I would be like, why is this in my bedroom? This isn't mine. But, so... she's like, I'm just dragging all this shit out of my room. Because this all started because when they weren't here, I moved a comic box into their room because I kept tripping. This is just all my fault for tripping over things. I kept tripping on it in the hallway because it was just in the middle of our hallway for some reason, just a comic box.
Well, I'll often put stuff out in spaces because I know, like, I need to find a space for this. If I just shove it somewhere where I don't see it, it'll cease to exist.
That is so valid, girly, but, like, listen, when it's sitting there for like 3 months and I'm like, every single day of my life I trip over it, eventually I'm gonna move it somewhere. Like, that's just, I give everyone ample time. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my god, this has been sitting in the hallway for an hour. I can't handle it.
There was an Amazon gift card situation this morning where it's like...
that was killing me. Like,
because I almost stole it, and I didn't.
Neither did I.
But
our middle kid got an Amazon gift card for Christmas, and
it has sat on our entertainment center for 3 months.
Not a care in the world about it, and then suddenly one morning, where's my Amazon gift card? Where is it?
And it's having that knowledge of, like, knowing I almost did the terrible dad thing and took it.
I mean, you were gonna buy them something with it. You're gonna buy them alarm clocks.
Yeah, I was just like, they need alarm clocks. I'm just gonna take this and buy them alarm clocks. And then I didn't because I was too lazy. And
also, you're a good dad. You had a good moral, you had a moment where you were like, I shouldn't take this Amazon gift card. It's not mine, right?
I'm just lazy. It
was killing me though.
And so, like, I didn't take it.
And our middle kid was like rampaging around the living room trying to find this Amazon gift card, knocking things over, and like I'm just like I just woke up like 10 minutes ago, and I'm just like,
well, and then I'm starting to get mad because I'm like, I could have used that for alarm clock. Like, I've in my head, I'm like,
yeah,
like I could have stolen it and used that for alarm clocks. I need.
And suddenly it was just extremely important this morning, and we couldn't find it, and I was just like, well, this is a lesson in, like, keeping better track of our things, because, like, and I wouldn't have said that if it was just an Amazon gift card, but, like, we
lose a number of things.
We do. And, like, I do too. And so, like, I'm trying to teach them, like, hey, if you, like, it's hard because, like, I have that problem too.
We all do.
If you, like, Like,
Sam says the kid is secretly just testing you, leaving it there to test all the family's
yeah,
trust.
we just walk past it every day and have to like reel ourselves in. But no, it's like I lose things too, and like what I've had to do is like find a place for things and keep them in that place. Like, and it's like I'm not like I hate like saying stuff like that to them because I know that I struggle with it too. But like someone like should have taught me that when I was a kid, like that, like because what would happen was my grandma would put everything away for me, and then I would be like, I don't know where anything
Yeah.
is, and like
Or you have, which teaches you like, oh, it's someone else's responsibility until
not
it,
mine.
when I can't find the thing, I should get mad at
Yeah.
this person I live with, and they're like, what? Why would I have?
Well, when I first moved in, there was a lot of like, "Hey, Selena, where's this thing?" And it's like they were younger then, but like they're getting older now, and I'm trying to teach them like this is like you guys have your own spaces, and like you don't need to come to me to ask where everything is because someday I'm not going to be able to tell you where the thing is
Yeah.
because you're going to be in your own apartments or living with your partners.
And
I guess you can ask your partner where the thing is, but as, as someone who is on the giving and receiving end of that, where I'll ask you where something is and you'll be like, I have no idea. Or you'll ask me where something is, and I feel like I have a pretty good track record of being like, oh, it's over there.
I feel like the only thing I ask you for on a regular basis is a sock basket, and it's just because it moves. If it would just stay in one place, I would
Working on
never.
that. I have a plan. I have
Okay.
a. Oh my God, I'm at the age that I get excited about where I'm gonna put socks. I'm gonna reorganize that top drawer and put your socks in it
Nice.
and your boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
I know. So you'll probably still ask me where socks are sometimes because I'm sure I'll forget to fill it or whatever.
You also don't need to like.
Yeah, but
You don't.
I like doing laundry.
Oh, that's fine.
And like making sure everybody's clothes are.
And I appreciate that. I'm just saying, like, you also don't have to.
I almost said everyone's clothes are cooked. Everyone's clothes are clean.
Everyone's clothes are cooked.
Yeah.
Sam said, "How was the rest of the stream last night?" It was good. That game's a lot.
It's very much so a lot.
It's incredible.
We got all of the endings because we went back through and did all of them.
I'm going to be thinking about, for those of you who don't know, we were playing My Side. I'm going to be thinking about that game for a very long time. They're making more content for it, and Selena's very excited. I am very much in the camp of, like, I'm scared for them to make more content for it. Not because, like, that game perfectly walks the line of, playing with the tropes and other such things of like games and things that are made to titillate and just like using that as like commentary, and like the horror stuff underneath is actually like hits really hard, and the commentary of the horror stuff underneath hits really hard, and like I'm gonna be thinking about it for a long time, and I'm kind of worried about what adding a bunch of extra content to that game might do. Does it then take that tightrope that it's walking and make it fall down one side or the other? I don't know. But they are working on a bunch of content for it. But it's
I just want a peaceful mode where I can hang out with Tiny Mita. Wouldn't it be cute if you could like color with her and like bake cookies and hang out? I'm getting emotional again. I don't know. I can't remember. Well, I'm sure The Last of Us affected me in that way, but I can't remember a game recently where I was just like, I might need to like take a break because I'm like not well.
That was probably the last one that hit at that level.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we've been, and parts of Silent Hill too. It's like part of Resident Evil has been like
how hokey it is.
Well, and it's been just like all just like silly scare stuff and not any of the feels.
Not getting into your brain and psychologically calibrating your
Not
brain.
You know the old
cells.
door stoppers that you'd flick and they go like
Yeah.
those games that go in your brain and just do that.
Yeah. No. Agreed.
Uh, but you,
I've been like unpacking the all of the lore too over time. Like the Reddit is full of a lot of like fan art, fan servicey stuff, which I'm just like I could honestly not. I don't need this. Like this isn't what I'm here for. However, there is like theories and like people being like, "Oh, if you go into photo mode, this, and this." And then I was in the game last night going into photo mode and like finding all these secrets.
yeah,
It's so fucking
I was
cool.
putting this show together. We still have everything hooked through the board. She's like, "Can I have some sound?" Like, yeah. So I'm just like sitting there. I have Vince's stream on.
And then
And,
I'm going through the fucking loop level with like the creepy ass fucking spider
and
thing.
it's like I'm not even watching the screen. I kept getting spooked because of the
Yeah. Well,
sounds.
because like you'd hear like,
Yeah.
and then like there's a jump scare at one point where it screamed at you, and like I would like stop it right at like photo mode. Apparently, throughout that whole level, it's behind you, and I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great.
It's a pretty that game's a pretty incredible achievement. And like I said, my worry is that right now the there's a text that is there. There is a critique of all of like patriarchy and performative femininity and everything that like it's all like there in the text right now, and it could be an accident, and I don't think we'll really know how on purpose or not on purpose it is till like more content comes out. And so that's I'm terrified of more content coming out, especially because now there's this fan community that is like hungry for more content, and a large portion of them fall on the end of people that like if the content came out of like now you can fuck them, people would be like, yeah.
No, I don't.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that it's like that
I'm
is
sure there's like a handful of people like that, but I don't think it's the majority. I think the ones that are like, woo, psychological horror game are louder than the ones that are like, woo.
I hope so. But
hot anime girls or whatever.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I almost wish they just didn't do any more content, and they're just like, and here you go. But of course, the game's doing really well. So we're gonna get more of it, and hopefully, it'll continue that tightrope walk. It is my hope and opinion of it. But what a game! And it's like $15. More people should check it out. Even if you've seen portions of that game, you've not seen that game. It's a fucking trip, man. Want to do some news?
I guess.
You guess? On this news show, you want to do some news? What if we make it a whole segment with all the news you nerd, and we call it the Daily Quack?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
All right. News. Ready or Not 2 is happening. With Samara Weaving, Catherine Newton, and Radio Silence. That's from Ty Gooden over at Nerdist. Says, when it comes to Final Girls, one of the best is undoubtedly Samara Weaving's Grace Le Domas in Ready or Not, one of my favorite movies. She goes from having the best day of her life to fighting for her life in the span of one night. Just imagine the horror of your newly minted in-laws trying to kill you in the name of a nasty family curse. The final scene of Ready or Not is a classic, and fans have always wondered what happened to Grace after that harrowing experience. Now we'll get our answers because Ready or Not 2 is in the works, with Samara Weaving and Radio Silence returning. The creative collective and Weaving recently worked together on Scream 6, where she portrayed the ill-fated professor who died in the opening scene. According to Deadline, Samara Weaving recently spoke about the possibility of a Ready or Not 2 film with Radio Silence. I'm all in, she said. I think we're all in. I don't know. I think we're all in. I don't know if we've had our blood handshake, but pretty much. We've done the split handshake, but we haven't cut each other's hands and rubbed our blood together. Um, Additionally, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Lisa Frankenstein actress Catherine Newton has also come aboard the movie.
Catherine Newton is an Ant-Man?
In the really bad one we saw in theaters.
I probably fell asleep then because I don't remember her.
It was bad. It was like... It was the movie that, like, everyone's like, the Marvels. Marvels is the one where, like, the Marvel movies lost their luster, but it was like Ant-Man Quantumania was the one where everyone, it still had the numbers, but like everyone that showed up was like, why are we doing this? Like, what is happening? Of course, we don't know any further details about Ready or Not Tour at this time, but we know that we cannot wait for what happens next. I'm so stupid excited. I love Ready or Not was already one of my favorite horror movies that came out in the last like 5 to 10 years. And then it'll always hold a special place in my heart because it was I think the first horror movie Celine and I watched together. And it was...
Yeah, I think so.
And it was definitely one of those things where I was like, we started talking and I was like, oh, you need to watch this then. And I turned on Ready or Not, and like it's the thing when you like horror movies and you turn on horror movies with someone, and like you're having this like slight feeling of like, all right, I gotta think I'm, and like
that's how I felt with Midsommar.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you locked in. You're like, this is great, like, and I was like, oh shit, like this is so. That movie, which I already like. Love that movie, but it'll always hold a special place in my heart because of that.
Aw, I love y'all.
I love you more. But like that's if for some reason you've not seen Ready or Not, go watch it. Samara Weaving is Hugo Weaving's niece, and you can tell by her.
She has really pretty goldfish eyes.
Well, so does he, but they don't fit his head as well as they fit her.
I don't mean that in a mean way, by the way. That's just how my brain associates her eyes as goldfish.
Like you could tell by her eyes, yeah, that
Yeah.
it's relation to him. But yeah, she's great. And then Lisa Frankenstein was really good. So like I'm excited to see what this is. I don't know where they take that plot next. Like it's again, it ended on like such a perfect point. So like I don't know what you do next, but I'm excited to see it. Evanston Public Library hosts Read to Cats event at Paws and Claws Cat Rescue. There's the...
Aww.
Why is the cat in like a...
I don't know.
It's like almost like a neck brace.
He looks slightly uncomfortable.
It's very...
Maybe he's happy. I don't know.
Who knows? This is from Ben Shapiro, but not that Ben Shapiro, at the Daily Northwestern. Says Edison Elementary School student Zora Schaffer read the picture book Dragons Love Tacos with her mother, Kate Schaffer, Kate Schaefer, while petting Kentucky Fried Chicken, a cat up for adoption at the Paws and Claws Rescue Wednesday night. Why is the cat's name Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
The mother-daughter duo were just two of roughly 30 community members who attended the Evanston Public Library's Read to Cats event at the shelter. We like reading and we like cats. We have lots of cat books at home, so we thought it would be fun to read to some cats. Kate Schaefer said, Wednesday night was the library's third event at Paws and Claws Cat Rescue. Robin Sindelar, a branch assistant at Robert Crown Branch Library, said the event was aimed at elementary school students with the hope of bringing the community together and improving childhood literacy. Sindelar said interest in the event outpaced what the cat shelter could accommodate, leading to a wait list of around 25 families. She brought more than 20 cat-themed books from the library for the kids to read out loud. The event helps kids with their reading because cats don't judge children. Sindler said, and I think it's also really important for the cats. It helps them get socialized. Paws and Claws Cat Rescue founder and executive director Ashlyn Boyce said the rescue's tagline is saving lives, building community, which she hopes to achieve through putting animals up for adoption and hosting events. The rescue has around 40 cats, all of which were brought in because they were at risk of euthanasia. The shelter's mission statement, it says it aims to help cats mentally and physically heal and give them a chance to find love and a full life in a forever home. Boyce said Paws and Claws achieves this goal in part through its partnership with Evanston Public Library. It's been a really wonderful event, Boyce says. The highlight of my staff's month every time we do it. Attendee Anna Lucy brought her daughter Ruby to the event after receiving an email about it from the library. She said her daughter loves animals and coming to the rescue was a perfect way for them to get their cat fix, since their 2 cats recently passed away. Lucy said she encourages reading at home and wanted to make the task fun for her daughter. Soggy! Hello.
Hello.
The pair spent 20 minutes in a room with cats, some toys, and a few books. We're a very big book family, Lucy said. We read every day together. Reading to cats is a fun way to do that. Cindelar hopes to continue hosting the event in the future as it has been popular amongst community members. She said teaching children how to read aloud is just as important as teaching them to read in their heads, and her goal is to teach her kids that reading is fun. Animals are a really good starting point to teach children empathy because they connect with them so easily, Sindler said. That sort of civic mindedness and kindness can expand out. I'm into that. We should do that here. You should start a reading to cats thing.
Okay.
Get on it.
I have 4 of them. I don't really know that any of them want to be read to. Maybe. I bet Bug would like that.
I bet he would like to be read to.
Yeah, just like snuggle and read a book.
I bet you Pancake would like to be read to.
Just not like holding her. Like she wants to sit next to you.
Yeah, while you read to her. And it'd have to be something like very like Jane Austen. or like I bet trashy romance novels. I bet she'd be into that.
Yeah. I'm not reading aloud a trashy romance novel to my cat though. That seems like a skosh too far.
Sagi says I will officially read to each of my cats for an hour. Yeah. I'm into it. Maybe we should all start doing that. What?
Pancakes always like to read comics.
That's
There's
true.
Like a picture of her as like a baby while you were reading through a omnibus.
Yeah.
And she's like sitting there like with you, just like, yeah, what's happening? She's sleeping over there. She's so cute.
Sagi says everyone in my house is allergic to cats. Oh.
I might be allergic to cats. It doesn't stop me. I know I'm not, whenever I get scratched by one, it's like not a good time. But otherwise, I think breathing wise,
yeah,
I'm good. Maybe. I think my grandpa was allergic to cats too.
Our oldest is definitely allergic to cats, which is funny because like he does not care. He's like,
no, he's like, those are my babies. They have 5 over at. Wait, do they have 5 or 4?
Yeah, there's 5 over there.
They have more cats than we do?
They do.
Oh my god, we gotta get on that. That would mean that our kids separately would have 10 cats. Oh my god. That's an accomplishment, honestly.
April O'Neil is the new Casey Jones in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 11.
I don't know who that is. I know who April O'Neil is.
You don't know who Casey Jones is?
No.
He's the hockey mask guy with the... He's like the other human that hangs out with them usually.
I don't know.
He puts on a hockey mask and he... Okay. This is from Bleeding Cool by Rich Johnson. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series published by IDW Publishing has been a big hit for them, and with every issue, the new run featuring Bleeding Cool's weekly bestseller list. And now, courtesy of a new variant cover from Juan Ferreira for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 11, an idea of what may be coming in May, with April O'Neil playing the role of a new Casey Jones. In the current run, Casey Jones is hospitalized by the villain. And then we have, if you look here, the panels of her considering the mask. He's like a very low rent Batman, I guess would be the best way to describe him. Like he not low rent in that he's not cool, but like low rent in that he's just like he throws on a hockey mask and goes out and fights with hockey gear.
Huh. Okay.
And he's Casey Jones. He's cool. I don't know how to describe it. By his bedside, April held his mask in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 6. Then she fended off the foot with a hockey stick in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 7. Will she take over his role as street vigilante entirely by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 11? Here's this listed for the cover, and it does look like that's what's happening. So comic spec buyers will probably buy hundreds of copies of this, and it may or may not end up being a thing. But that's cool. Soggy says, I don't know if that's cool or not. Casey Jones had a mask the whole time. That's what made them cool. He even did a job interview in the mask. Oh, okay. So she's Nightwing. I mean, kind of. It's still, I don't know.
Okay.
This seems rad to me, but it's also very gimmicky and likely a stunt, but at least they've like been building up to it over the course of however many issues. So Soggy says Casey Jones is a low/mid-income Batman. Doesn't have ninjutsu, but a golf bag full of bats and hockey sticks. Yeah. It's also featured in a Grateful Dead song. Riding that train, high on cocaine. Casey Jones, you better learn to watch your speed.
Oh.
It's probably a different Casey Jones, but
that would make more sense.
Trouble ahead, trouble behind. Okay. Discord in talks to become a public company.
What does that mean? You texted me this last night, and I thought you were trying to tell me, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
No, my old method for storing articles has expired. So
why?
Because I sent it to an old Facebook that I used to use, but now it's not letting me do that anymore unless I log back into that Facebook, and I don't really want to log back into that Facebook.
That's fair.
So, Soggy says I would buy stock in Discord. Well, you're about to have an opportunity to. This is from Jordan Midler.
What the fuck?
At
Sorry, not that article. I'm looking at the camera screen, and there's like this little piece of hair that's just like fucking sticking straight up.
Yeah?
Yeah, it won't.
Is it this one where you see it?
Yeah, there it goes. It's going down now.
Okay.
Sorry, it was bothering me.
It's okay. This is from Jordan Miller at Video Game Chronicle, who says,
that's what the back of my head looks like.
Yeah, well, you keep setting this mirror behind me when we do things with cameras, and I keep moving it so that we don't.
I literally meant to move that out of our. There's a Band-Aid stuck to that mirror. It's not my mirror. It's our kid's mirror, and it was in the hallway. And again, it was in the hallway, so I moved it because I kept running into it.
Popular social network platform Discord is reportedly in early talks to go public. The platform, which was founded in 2015 by Jason Citron, grew popular with gamers in the last decade due to its ease of use, its integration with games, and the fact that it's free. In the years since, Discord has grown into a hub for thousands of different communities, largely replacing traditional web forums. According to reports, the decision to go public follows the election of Donald Trump. leading a market that is more friendly to tech giants looking to make these types of moves. Blah. Blah. We understand there's a lot of interest around Discord's future plans, but we do not comment on rumors or speculation, the company said in a statement shared with Financial Times. Our focus remains on delivering the best possible experience for our users and building a strong, sustainable business. I mean, that tells me, and I'm pretty late to the game with Discord, but that this all tells me we're in like we're in the last enjoyable stretch of Discord. So like, have fun. Have fun. It's gonna get shitty.
I just went into our kids' room to put away the mirror and found all the clothes that I asked them to put away yesterday, shoved in a basket.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It's been like 3 days. I feel like that's long enough.
Cool.
To wait patiently for clothes to get put away. And I don't like doing it myself because then they don't know where things are. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, what do I do? And like, if I leave them in the laundry basket, they get all like wrinkly and like, and I need that laundry basket also. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do.
I mean, your choices are unfortunately
Do
to
it myself.
put their clothes away yourself or live in this world where that happens like this, and then you have to be like, oh, did you do that? And they say yes, and they're like, well, I'm gonna come in and check, and they're like,
Well,
oh.
I meant to come in and check yesterday, but then we had the stream, and then like.
Well, and they know as soon as they're close to when they go back to their mom's house, they're just like, I just gotta wait out that clock.
Yeah, I know. Drives me just a skosh bonkers.
But you know, you would do the same thing.
I would.
You would just be like, yeah, I totally will do that if I can manage to not do that for 6 hours.
I should text their older brother and have him drop them off to do the clothes. Then I'll take them back over there. Be like, you thought you escaped?
It's not a bad plan. That's actually not a bad plan.
Is it? I feel like I was just half kidding with that. Like, I think that's a little over the top.
No. Oh. My not my family, but in my ex-wife's family, there was a situation in which there was like this constant like, hey, you need to shut your bedroom light off. And it's like, it was like all the way upstairs and around. It's like,
yeah,
you need to shut that off because it's like, we can't be leaving that on because of like the light bills and light bulbs and everything else. You can't just leave that on. And they literally drove to school. They went to school, left it on, and it was just like one of those, it's been enough. So they drove to school, picked the kid up, drove the kid back, had them go upstairs, turned the light off, and then drove them back to school.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, yes, that's teaching the kid, like, this is your responsibility, but, like, at the same time, you took them out of school.
Yeah.
And you took up parts of your day, too. Did they work, like, the parent? Or whoever was driving?
Yes. It's that thing, though, that it's like, it was like, so my aunt cut school, like went and like rode the bus to school and then just like went and did whatever. And my grandma found out, and then my grandma went to school with her to every class with her for 3 straight weeks.
Oh my God, that's dedication.
Yeah. And it was just like, we're gonna be best friends.
Yeah.
We're gonna be best friends because you seem to struggle to make it where you're supposed to go. So I'm gonna make sure.
What I mean though, like, I don't want to come across like overbearing or something. Like, ultimately, I can put the clothes away myself. It just feels like the kid that was supposed to do that stayed up and watched YouTube instead. So like,
yeah,
and that's in my brain. I also did that, so I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't teach me. Again, I had a grandma that followed me around and did everything for me. So, like, I could stay up and watch YouTube or...
Yeah, it's funny because your grandma would go, like way above and beyond in, like, in ways that, like, other people would not. But she wouldn't drive to school, take you out of school, drive you home, make you shut off a light, and then bring you back to school,
No.
or go with you to class.
No.
Um,
Yeah, it's weird because she definitely was very like she would coddle me, and that's not coddling a kid. Is to like take them out of school and make them do the thing they were supposed to, and then put them back in school.
it's like, yeah, it's that thing of like, no, you thought you were going to get away with this, but like you have a personal responsibility here that you have to acknowledge, and
Parenting is
it
just
will.
really hard because there's this like generation of parents that like if you have your kids do things that are their responsibility, they're like that's abusive, and it's like I really don't think it's. I understand. I think childhood should be all about being a child and just like don't. Your kids aren't your friggin' like little cleaning company. Like, don't make your kids clean your whole house.
Yeah.
Don't make your kids like do the entirety of your family's dishes every single night by themselves. Like, and they're like not getting homework done and they're not getting other things done because they're too busy being a cleaning company or something. Like I think a lot of people do like mistake the like, oh well we need to teach them responsibility, and then they put too much responsibility on them. And it's like,
Or sometimes they're shitty parents, and then so much of their shitty parenting is presented through the lens of like, why I gotta teach them responsibility.
yeah, and it's like, no, you're just being shitty. But like, so that's like this line that I've been very careful with of like, I don't want to ever put too much on them, and I don't ever want to like overwhelm them, but I also don't want them to end up like I did, which is not knowing how to work a washing machine until you're like 19 years old, and not knowing like just basic like human tasky things. Like I can't think of anything besides the washing machine right now.
It's like you have to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
like I'm not saying like putting the clothes away is like detrimental to anyone's well-being. I guess it's probably detrimental to the clothes because again they'll either get wrinkled or like sometimes the cats will like climb into the laundry baskets and pee in them occasionally. They haven't done that in a long time though, so like that's no longer an issue. But that was my driving force of like we gotta put all the laundry away because otherwise the cats are gonna pee in the laundry basket.
the main offender of that is probably not around anymore, but
Mm. Oh, I'm sad. He could come back and pee in the laundry baskets. I don't care. But no, like I'm not saying like, oh my god, I can't like life will not go on without these clothes folded and put away, but like it's still I feel important to be like, no, this was your responsibility.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's hard.
Oh, it's super hard. And it's like finding the balance between those two things is really tough. Of, yeah, like,
My friend wants what is this? Oh, we're on really. Oh, it's Friday. Okay, yeah.
yeah, I wasn't there yet, but
No, sorry. I looked at the screen and then I was like, wait, why are we doing this? It's not Friday. And then I was like, wait a minute.
it is Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah, we've made it to Friday.
I know that now. I forgot briefly that it was Friday.
It's crazy that it's Friday. It's like this week has flown by. This year is just chugging along. It's like it realized like as I'm starting to tell people, and I have no flyer yet. We need to do a free comic book day flyer because we're there. Like we're in the like, hey, we need to start advertising and pushing for the and planning for this thing, which is itself insane. That because like it just feels like talking about something that happens in May is just that feels too far out. But
it's not.
It is not. But yeah, it's always the tough thing with parenting. Like, how do you not be a piece of shit? But also recognize that like the things that you're always like, oh man, my mom and dad could have done this a lot better. But then you like look at like, but them not doing this stuff well actually taught me a lot of personal responsibility and how to take care of myself. So how do I be like a loving, caring parent, but at the same time, like...
Be like, hey, this is your personal responsibility.
Yeah, hey, you should... There are things that you should do.
Yeah.
That you should take care of.
Again, it's like, I don't mind the like not getting things done for the sake of like hanging out with us or playing a game with their sibling or like going outside, but it was like
You
just
watch
the
YouTube.
freaking YouTube all day with the YouTubes. I feel like my grandma.
That's like all they want to do. Like that's
That's not true. Our middle kid has been playing a game recently, and I've
yeah,
just been like, go for it. Like,
which has been nice. And then it's like that's slowly drifting back into just watching YouTube, and so I'm gonna have to like correct that again and just can we just if you guys are
YouTube's
just
not a problem until it's all you're doing for like 7 hours on end, and you don't leave that spot, and you're
yeah.
not drinking water or like eating food, and then you come out of there and you're like all dehydrated, and yeah.
All right. Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Oh, sorry, Pete was scratching at something, and I can isolate the sound. Every Friday, we like to go to the bowels of this hive of scum and villainy that is Reddit and find posts in r/relationship advice. Like this one. That says, my boyfriend, who's a 29-year-old male, wants to go on a trip with his female best friend, 29 female, alone.
Huh.
Hi, folks. I desperately need some guidance. I desperately need someone to guide me here. Please reply ASAP. My boyfriend has this female friend who's in the U.S. My boyfriend is going on a U.S. trip with his family, and he planned to do a trip separately for 5-6 days with his female friend who is in the U.S. They probably will be together alone, exploring new places, sharing beds, etc. My question is if I feel so possessive and find this so unnecessary while he is in a committed relationship with me. Is what I'm feeling normal, or maybe it's fault on my side, but I want somebody to tell their opinion about the situation. I trust my boyfriend, but why do they have to do this trip together alone in the first place? Is this a normal situation, or does it only look big to me? I trust my boyfriend, but them sharing a bed, experiencing each other's care feels so unnecessary to me. Hey, can I take a trip with a female friend? Don't worry about it. We'll just be sharing a bed.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's just we're really good friends. We just like to go on trips and share a bed, and it's gonna be 5 or 6 days.
I mean, like, if I knew that person, we'd probably just all go together. Like, why are you gonna go by yourself? That's weird.
It's super weird.
Like, if it's like a business thing or like I can't go, but even then, I'd be like, I'm trying to think of any close female friends that you have that I would be like, but there's not really a situation that I could think of that you would go on a trip with these close female friends.
No, because they have partners too. And it'd be like, if anything, it'd be like we'd all just
together,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. I would say that is like there is like often some toxic monogamy.
I was gonna say I don't
things.
think it's fair to just assume that like this is gonna go down that way, but like logic states that is the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would say like you're allowed to have friends of the opposite sex. You're allowed to like.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I Jeff?
Yeah, you are. You're allowed to interact with them. You're allowed to like hang out, get dinner together. At a certain point though, like even at like get dinner together, it starts going like, well, what?
Where's your significant other?
Like when you start asking the questions of like, well, why isn't this other person being included? It starts getting dicey real quick, and it's like it's real silly, and we like. It's one of those things where as soon as you put like hard lines on it, people can point out how silly those hard lines are. But like the reality is,
I'm a big boy.
the reality is my big boy. The reality is,
Why are you all dusty, dude?
at some point, like it does get weird, and it
Hi.
does get like,
Are you
even if there
nasty?
is nothing happening, even if this is entirely innocent and above board, like even if there was someone who with whom I have no sexual attraction to, me going on a vacation with them and like sharing a bed with them and stuff while I'm in a committed relationship is just playing with matches that, like, even if you're like, hey, these matches will never light, why are you even putting yourself in the situation?
Yeah.
I it's like boundaries are a good thing. Like, it's fine.
Oh.
You're not having big feelings. I wonder what the comment section. Oh, the top comment is, why aren't you invited? Someone says deal breaker. Someone says, I think it's reasonable to have female friends. Maybe they get a drink together every now and then. Maybe invite them over to the house for events, parties, dinners. Maybe you get together in a group or go watch a ball game or concert. If this was a guy's camping trip, that's one thing. You're surrounded by a group of people, and the point is to have a vacation away from your wife with just your buds. But this is not that. It's one-on-one time. I highly doubt he would be okay if the situation was reversed. Um, this person says sharing a bed with a friend of the opposite sex at 29 is already strange. Doing it while in a relationship is even stranger. Are you sure that this is his friend? Um, I don't. I am so confused by. I think sharing a bed is a bit far and very uncalled for. If they are longtime friends, I don't think it's too crazy, though. I wouldn't be thrilled by it, but I think having separate sleeping quarters would be very reasonable, and I'm a bit confused why your boyfriend wouldn't want that in the first place. Yeah. This person says, I have a male best friend and I'm married. I'm 38 years old and my friend lives in a different country. I go to visit him alone and he's like my brother. Trust is a massive need in a relationship if it's going to work, and I wouldn't give up a friendship for someone who doesn't trust me or at least let me show and earn it. Friendship means a great deal to me and a lot of other people too. Maybe try to work on what is bothering you and have conversations about it. Do you know her? Have you spoken with her? These can make it easier too. However, at the end of the day, if this is a boundary for you, then you either need to call it quits as you can't change how you feel. If this friendship means a lot to him and he wants to spend time with them, then he has his choice too. Hope you can work it out. Um, I guess that's another perspective on it, but like also, I don't know, man. I just, I don't know. I don't think that. I think we could twist and bend our brain into all sorts of scenarios where this makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
but like I don't think this makes sense.
No.
It doesn't pass the smell test.
Pete, what is that sound?
He's pulling on the cans that are hanging on the thing.
Pete,
He's being Pete.
what are you doing, Bubbers? Come here. Come here, silly.
How do I tell my sister she can't move in with me and my husband?
Oh.
Okay, so a 28-year-old female, recently spent the weekend with my sister, 25-year-old female. During this visit, my sister had a bit of a breakdown. She was sobbing, mentally distraught, and it was hard to see. Being completely honest, I am easily manipulated. If you pull on my heartstrings, I will bend over backwards to help you, and therefore situations like these are difficult for me. Anytime this ever happens with her, with friends, my husband, I immediately go into problem solving mode. I asked her why she was so upset. She explained that with her rent and her student loans, she feels like she's drowning and that there's no end in sight. She has a full-time job. She's a kindergarten teacher, and she has only lived on her own since July of last year.
I'm gonna move that before Pete accidentally breaks open that bag with all the cans in it.
Pre-
Come on. You're being weird.
yeah, he's being a little attention starved.
I was just holding him.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. He just he really, really, really wants attention for some reason that he's not getting, I guess. It's not good enough that you were just holding him. He needs it now. In his exact way that he needs it, I guess. All right.
You're going to lay down with Pancake. Look at Pancake. She says Pancake or Pete, I will snuggle you. Yeah, come on, let's go see her.
Anytime this ever happens with her, with friends, with my husband, I immediately go into problem solving mode. I ask her why she's so upset. She explained that her rent and her student loans, she feels like she's drowning and that there's no end in sight. She has a full-time job. She's a kindergarten teacher, and she's only lived on her own since July of last year. Previously, she lived with my parents rent-free. In her distress, she asked if it would be possible to move in with me and my husband when her lease ends this July. Me feeling bad, talked through it with her, but ultimately said I would talk it through with my husband. Essentially, she wants to move into her home so she can put the money she is currently paying towards rent, towards her student loans instead. From my assumption, it seems like she expects to not pay us rent, not that it matters. It would take about 1.5 years to pay off her loans completely if this was the case. I've spoken with my husband, and both him and I have concerns. One, my sister has 2 cats, and we have 2 dogs that are not cat friendly. My sister is very much attached to those cats. I wouldn't even suggest she gives them up, but we don't want to punish our dogs by putting them in a bad situation either. 2, she could easily move in with my parents, only a 15-minute difference in commute to her job. 3, we would lose our privacy. And 4, we don't want to enable her. I don't want her to struggle, but she did decide to take out the loans and move out in the first place before repaying them. I'm struggling with how to tell her we've decided it would be best for her to find something else or think of other options. I feel like an awful sister. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But I have to put my relationship and my animals first. Any help or advice is appreciated. I would say, what are you doing over there?
Well, I'm putting this comic back in a bag because Pete just stepped over it.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to accidentally move it. And he's chewing on something over there. I don't really know what.
Okay.
That's it. What are you doing? Uh-huh. I put him in the bed to hang out with Pancake.
Hey, Mello.
Pancake got up. Was like, no thanks. The energy is bad. And then Pete's just pissed. Because no one wants to hang out with him. Like, he's trying to eat my freaking... Stop, Pete. He's trying to eat my sour gummy worms. Pete? What you doing?
He's being a butt. I had a actually kind of somewhat similar scenario, and it's when I was with my ex-wife, we let a sibling move in, and one of us was for it and one of us was against it, and I was the one of just like, oh, who cares? Like, the more the merrier. Like, however many people get in this house, like, who cares? And it's like, I don't think I would do that again.
Not my sister?
I'd think about it, but like, I think it is very easy to underestimate like how much other people living in the house is going to affect like the primary relationship of like the people and it's, we already have that, with we have kids for 2 weeks and then don't have kids for 2 weeks, and it's like our dynamics change between the
Yeah.
2 weeks we have them and then 2 weeks we don't, and it's just you don't understand how like going from not having roommates to having a roommate is going to change your like relationship dynamics. And if your relationship's working and in a good place, like it's going to put pressures on weird things. There's going to be fights that develop, and then suddenly like it's the fights are going to turn into like 2v1 instead of like one-on-one trying to figure out what's going on. Like it's a whole different can of worms. And yeah, if I had to do it over again, like I'd probably even be pretty hesitant with your sister. Like, but it's like my first instinct is like family needs to live in the house. Like, yes, make it work.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like if you can't, if your relationship is really important to you and you can't make that thing work, like what are you doing? And like that puts so much pressure on it. Top comment is, I think you shouldn't actually tell her any of the detailed reasons. That would open it up to discussions, and she'll argue each point. It will go badly for you both. You'll start with point about pets, and she'll prove that it's not a problem for XYZ reason. And then you'll bring up privacy, and she'll argue with you, but you'll both feel uncomfortable, and eventually you'll get drawn into expressing your judgments about her life. You'll both feel shitty, and the things you say will stick with her and rack for a long time. Sounds like you're uncomfortable saying no to family and friends. This is your opportunity to practice. That's a very sweet way to phrase that.
That is.
Practice saying, we discussed it, and there's several reasons that I don't want to get into, but we aren't able to share our space right now. And then, yeah, I know it's really hard for you, and I'm really sorry. Can I help you look at other options? I happen to see this useful website, blah, blah, blah. Which you have spent significant time researching because you do want to help your sister, even if you don't want her to move in. Yeah, there's a situation around us recently where it's just like, a whole bunch of people have moved in together, and it's just like always like it sucks because it's just like as you get older, it's that thing that is like so frustrating. It's like I'm not that old either. I'm 38, but it's just like I've seen all these things play out so many times. And you're just like, it's that thing where someone's like, I want to do this long distance relationship, and you're just like, okay, that's not going to work out. And like, why would you say that? My long distance relationship is different. And you're like, okay, cool. Maybe it is, but like things can go from long distance to not long distance. They can go that direction and have like a high level of success. When things go from in person to long distance, they have a low level of success. And then as you live more years on the planet, you see that happen a lot. And then when you see a young kid making that decision, you want to be like, hey,
don't. Well, not don't, but like, hey, this is
a high likelihood of possibility. This is how I would approach it based on my experience and the mistakes and pains that I've already felt that I'm trying to prevent you from feeling. And then the overwhelming reaction is always just like, you don't know me. And like, if moving as a married couple, moving a bunch of people into your house is gonna threaten the marriage. It's not even to say that it's like, oh, they're gonna be hooking up with it's just, it's not smart. You don't want a marriage that is like only good because it's protected, but you don't want a marriage that the people within it don't value it and protect it.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's like I don't want you to be faithful to me just because like I'm out there playing dick goalie. Like,
yeah, no. Yeah. If I was in a relationship where I felt like I had to monitor you to keep you on good behavior, I would just be like, okay, this is not what I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I did that. It's very anxiety fueling, and you feel like responsible for the other party, and it's just. And then in the end, it's like you realize you're not even fucking responsible. That's a grown ass adult, and you just somehow suckered yourself into parenting them into not cheating on you.
Right, which no one wants. That's like
No.
not fun. And so you don't want a relationship that only is working because you're like defending it. At the same hand, though, you don't want to be in a relationship where someone's just rolling the dice needlessly all the time
Yeah.
and be like, oh, well, let's just roll the trust dice. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, and I'm not, I'm not saying if you move your sister into your house, infidelity is the fear. In some
Concerning.
in some instances, maybe I don't know, but like, it's more just like you're moving somebody into the house, which means that it's like all those organic times that you guys used to have of just like, okay, it's the two of us sitting on the couch together, and this is where we have like connected time that we've not had to think about, that we've not had to plan. It's just like, this is our connected time that's just organically happening. And then that's gone now because now there's another person sitting on the couch. Or that's gone now because you're talking about whether or not to yell at your sister who left the dishes in the thing.
Yeah.
And so your connecting time is gone because you're now spending it navigating and policing this other thing.
Yep.
It is, you are putting your relationship into another level of difficulty when you are doing things like going long distance or bringing other people into the house or doing those things. And it's like, not very many people are good at navigating that kind of stuff. Or really like being like, okay, well, your sister can move in, but these are the hard boundaries that we're going to set, and these are like how that's going to cut into our, alone time and our couple time. So like, this is how we're going to like find that time. We're going to schedule it out. Most people just go like, don't think about any of that stuff. And they go like, oh, sister can move in because that's what needs to happen. And the whole plan is that she moves in and doesn't pay rent for a year and a half so that she can pay her loans off. What are you going to do when she doesn't pay her loans? What are you going to do? Which like, she's like, well, emotionally, I had a hard life, or hard day, hard month. Because you know how your dog was so mean to my cat. I had a really hard month, and so I actually deferred my loans for a month, and then I bought all these DVDs. And you're like, man, we could have really used some rent money. Like, that shit's gonna happen. It's not just like you're already struggling with the plan as it's laid out. You need to be mentally okay. And so many people do this stuff too, where they like get into work partnerships, get into like whatever relationship situations, and it's like you have to mentally in your head be like, am I okay with like if this goes bad and what that feels like? And if your answer is no, then like the time to deal with that is like further up the tree than most people do. Most people are just like, then it happens. Shit happens, which like shit has been happening since the dawn of time. Shit's gonna happen. No plan is ever gonna go perfectly, and then shit happens, and then people lose their mind. So they're like, "Oh my god, you said, you wanted to move in and pay us no rent, and we started talking about it, and you kind of bullied us and guilted us into it, but like we decided you'd have to pay us $50 a month, and then it's like." You're supposed to pay us on the 1st, and it's the 4th, and and then everyone's mad at each other. Or then one of the two people of the couple is not mad at the person, but the other person is, and then you're mad at each other because somehow that person not handing the rent money over is that other person's fault for being too soft. And it's just like, it's a lot. Protect your marriage.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. We live in this like world now where like people are like being like, oh fucking and I get it. Like there's like I'm happy for poly people. Like I'm happy that they have found a thing that works for them and like love it. Keep on keeping on. You beautiful souls. There is the thing that crops up in conversations about surrounding poly stuff, and it's like goes out into all these different communities and like kind of finds all these groups where it's just like anyone who's like hyper protective of their marital relationship is like a shitty or weird person. And like I'm here to tell you, I'm kind of in the boat that it's like if I'm not approaching it that way, I don't want to be married. Personally.
Yeah.
Like if it's not a thing that's important to me that I'm protective of, that I'm like putting thought into like how do I keep this into a good place and a happy place, and like
And how do I ensure that like the person that I'm with is making those choices too?
yeah.
Like, because you can sit there and protect it yourself all you want, but if your partner's not doing the same thing, like, then it's gonna fall apart on that end.
Right.
So.
But like we even like, you know, if like someone's like, hey, you know, I'm sorry guys, I can't do this on Thursday. That's the night I like watch TV with my wife and we watch whatever show comes on Thursdays. Or you know, for a long time it was like the Sunday night HBO thing. A lot of couples were like, yeah, Sunday night's TV night with the wife, you know, like sorry, like I can't do this thing. And like I was like, what? Fucking whipped. Fucking piece of shit. Want to spend time with your wife?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
It's almost like you like married that person and you like spending time with them. Wild.
And I think it's okay to be like, hey, young sibling, I get it. And this is a hard thing to say because it's like I was that young sibling that was living at my sister's house, and I did that. And I had people live in my house, and I think in every instance it was like we were all doing what we thought was the best at the time. I think in every instance I think they should have told me no. Sorry, like I love you and we'll help you out in like every other way. But and you can always stay here for a night or two. Like this, you can always visit. You can't live here, man.
Yeah.
You're an adult. You need to find a situation, and it's like, again, it's like if you don't have kids, if you don't have partners, that's a very different scenario, you know. But it's like, if you are alone in an apartment or house, and like you want to let they're the only relationship then that you're gonna have to like renegotiate and renavigate is a relationship with yourself. And I'm not saying never move siblings in with a couple either. Just like know what you're inviting. Even in the best of circumstances, there's going to be a lot of silly squabbles that would have been one-on-one that you as a couple would have been able to figure out. And it's just, even if you're trying the best you can, having that one third voice that's just like, you guys, hey, can you please pick your dishes up? And then suddenly there's a third person in the house going like, why are you so mean to him? And you might not have been mean. You might have had like 10 years worth of conversations about the dishes and picking them up and the where you landed is a good place. But now there's one other person just being like, no, you're kind of being a bitch. And then that's in your head, and then that's in everyone's head, and it's just like it's cranking those dynamics up. And it's, I don't think it's a great plan. I think rich people can do it because they have like fucking guest house and shit. I think that's fine. But you're just too on top of you need space as a couple. You need space to like be a couple. And like, I'm not saying it's impossible without that space, but it definitely puts the relationship on hard mode. All right. That said, I'm going to move like 14 people in this house.
We don't have that kind of space in our house.
Sorry, we were done with this.
I think I don't even. That's a lot. I don't want to.
Did you read?
Yeah, I read the title. I don't want to. I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Why are we reading another? Jeffrey, why are we reading another? Hello?
I don't, because I was going to.
Oh, why?
Because I was going to.
Why?
Because I was going to.
That's not a good enough reason.
Okay.
Like what?
All right. Do you just want to wrap things up? Is that where you're at?
No. I'm used to 2.
Okay.
We don't normally do more than 2.
Okay.
So.
Okay. We can wrap things up.
If that's okay. I'm used to 2.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here.
And crack my back. Ow.
You go ahead and crack your back. Please, if you can, go check out our YouTube. I just spammed the link in the chat. It is putting a lot of work into it, getting a lot of stuff up there. I'm going to get the My Side stuff up there soon. I got to sit and spend time editing that stuff, put it up. But we put highly edited stuff on there, so I'm taking like 4 to 6 hours of gameplay stuff, and I'm taking that and then cutting it down to like a little 20-minute video. So it's a lot of work, but it turns out pretty great, honestly. Also, check out Whatnot. There's a link there. You can click it, and it'll give you $15 free to buy comic books from us. Or you can use it to spend money on other people too, and then we get a little kickback. But yeah, click through there, get a Whatnot account, and then if you want to buy comics from us, you can do it there. It's pretty painless. In fact, they give you $15 free to do it, which is pretty cool. Also, we do Patreon stuff. There's stickers, there's shirts. There's a whole bunch of nonsense. It's a good time. Patreon.com/dorkduck, and helps keep the lights on around these parts. Helps put us in the position where Selena wants to read 3 stories instead of 2. Maybe.
No, I'm just used to 2.
And then, yeah. Appreciate you all. Let's see. Going on. I think we're just going to wrap it up here. Saying be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. I'm going to try to get some editing done. I also have to run to Walmart.
Why?
Our landlord probably wants to get paid.
Oh, okay. I just thought we needed something from Walmart.
We do with its money orders. So, all right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.
Have a fantastic day.
Bye.